music education, starting a podcast, and reaching our communities with Ismael Vitriago. Stay inspired. So Ishmael, from your interview, I just wrote down a few quotes that were really meaningful and wanted to highlight those. So one of the first ones was, teach all that you have in your mind and spirit. Another one was, just keep working. It's not in vain. It's an investment for you to improve. That we can achieve any goal we want to achieve with the bassoon. Another one is, take time to consider what you are doing, and about music, enjoy and love it. So I've really been looking forward to chatting with you, Ismael, to ask you more about your podcast called El Podcast de Los Fagotes, which interviews bassoonists all in Spanish. Could you tell us more on why you founded this podcast and more about your guests?
Hi, Yuli. How are you? Nice to see you again. Thank you so much for having me again. It's so nice to be here with you, and I'm so happy. I'm really happy to be here again, and I'm glad, and yes, I'm happy as well to share with you more and more that you want, and whatever we can talk about it. And yes, if you want to start, if we can start about speaking about the podcast, yes, I would like. It will be nice. So, but I have to tell you that the podcast is the second thing that I did with the Los Fagotes YouTube channel or even a Spotify channel, because everything started at the beginning with La Entrevista, kind of the same that you do in your YouTube channel, because I 3 years ago I still was in Venezuela, and because the immigration that we have right now in Venezuela since the last years, the bassoon school in Venezuela start to get some a phenomenon that the teachers of the school start to go abroad, to go out. So I was a bit concerned about the new generations. My concern was, okay, many of my students and the new generations of students, they didn't have the chance to meet the teachers, my teachers or the teachers of my teachers, because they stopped to work, they retired, or because they went abroad. And it was a bit sad for me, because the bassoon school in Venezuela is a very good one. Is a big one. There are teachers around the country in all provinces or states. We don't call us provinces, we call us states. And I had the chance to meet them many times, because we did special lessons, special master classes in Caracas or everywhere else, and we get the chance to meet together like once or twice a year, every time. And it was nice because we gathered all bassoons and all bassoon teachers in just one place at the same time, listen to master class, playing together, having really nice master class from like people like especially teachers from abroad, also like Klaus Tuneman, Henning Trog went many times to Venezuela to talk to us. Klaus Tuneman went twice, and George Sakakeni, Dorian Lefebvre. Oh, I don't want to tell. I don't want to. I don't like to say names, because if I forgot one, it's not going to be nice. Yeah, because there were many bassoon teachers, many maestros that went to Venezuela, and it was nice. Those master class were really nice, because it's not just about the master class. It's about also the chance that we gather together at the same time and share many things. The music, the bassoon, to have fun together, to have a really nice time having fun together. So in a moment we couldn't do that again, because many things that happens in Venezuela, the economical situation, social situation, and of course, for do that you need an amount of money. You need a budget to do that, and it's not easy to do. It sounds easy, but it's not easy to do master classes with, even in Venezuela, just with Venezuela students or teachers. It's something that it requires a big budget. So, well, as I said before, everybody start to go abroad, not just teachers, also students, and I notice that not just my students, the new students, the new generations start when I speak about my teachers for the conservatory, they say, oh, yeah, I know who are you talking about, but we didn't meet. We haven't met because he went abroad, and I just started to play bassoon when he went out of the country, out of Venezuela. And I say, oh, that's not nice, because they build a really good school in the country. So I say, okay, what can I do to make like a docu series, like a documental? I really want to make a register into the bassoon school in Venezuela. And I say, okay, maybe I would like to start to do some interviews to those teachers, or not just teachers, also the students or the bassoon players that were in Venezuela, and then to put in YouTube a video interview, so then the new generation can meet them and know about them, and know her or his background, okay? Because it's nice, it's like it's like the same that you do, but in Spanish and for Venezuelan. So I start just with Venezuelan bassoon students and bassoon teachers, and I feel really good. I feel it feels really nice to do it. I felt really happy to do that, to make something that somebody can just reach anytime, just going through to YouTube, to the Los Fagotes YouTube channel. And it was really nice. I mean, it's nice because it's not just the thing that I made an interview. It's also I went through a new kind of skills. I never had the chance to work with video editor software, sound software, all the things that you already pretty much know. That you already know even better than me, for sure. It was nice at the beginning. It's a lot of job, as well, that. So it's a lot of job, but it's really worthily, because it's something that it's going to be there forever, and people can just reach anytime. Not new students, new generations, but also my generation and the teachers that every time I was so happy to having them again and have the chance to meet again. So it was nice because I started before the pandemic, before COVID. I started like 1 year, almost 2 years before the pandemic, to do these virtual meetings. So I also use Zoom for that. So I use Zoom even before the pandemic. And in a moment, of course, I start to do that and have interviews, really good, really nice, and improve my interviews and so then the students start to be a bit more interesting about it, and of course the people that went abroad start to be oh, I would like to participate. I would like to participate with you. Can we have the chance? And I say yes, for sure. Then the pandemic shows, and some colleagues from Latin America start to do things really nice by Zoom, by virtual meetings or virtual master classes or forums in Facebook, Zoom, many platforms that they use. And I say, wow, I would like to do something with more than Venezuelan bassoons players or bassoon teachers. And then I start to do the podcast, el Podcast de Los Fagotes. Because I say, well, I would like to do this the same that I do with the interviews, but open a bit more to people that speak Spanish. And I say, why not? And I start with a friend from Mexico, Rocio, and it was so nice because there are many people that, I mean, on Facebook, I have a lot of bassoon players around the world that we haven't met before. I have met some of them before, but for sure is not even less than half. Oh yeah, even less than a quarter, I think. So I started to say, okay, maybe this is another way to meet people. Now that we cannot travel like before, especially the pandemic year, the last year, I said, well, maybe this is a way that we can do something, and we can meet somebody, to know somebody about his or her background, the history, what had they done until now, what are they doing with the bassoon, with the music, any projects. And I found it that it's really really nice as well. It's really really nice. We can learn a lot. We can learn and just listen the background or the history, or what about people have done with the bassoon. It's really nice, because then realize, wow, is interesting. The way is not always the same way. Maybe sometimes it is kind of the same for everybody, but for sure, every history, every bassoon player, everyone had something that is not the same, and I found it really nice, really interesting to do that. Well, sadly, I haven't worked on a bit. I stopped to do that for a moment, because, well, do it by yourself is nice, but it demands a lot of time. It demands so much time, because you have to do everything. You have to pre-produce, doing the recording, post-produce, doing all the things that you want to do. If you want to do the social media things or whatever you want, it demands a lot of time, a big amount of time. So I took like a break, but for sure I would like to keep going, to keep doing, because it's really nice. And I really enjoy to meet people, and I think it's a thing that I love to do, and I love especially to meet musicians, and for sure bassoon players, bassoonists. Is really nice to meet bassoons players around the world. And now that it's tricky to do in person, so why not to do online or virtually and share with everybody else.
In the name of music education and the importance of music education, and how to better reach people, I wanted to ask, could you share more on the importance of showing students that the bassoon can be taken outside of the concert hall too, and where this inspiration originated?
Yes, we spoke about that. We spoke about that on the interview. Yes, it's nice now that you asked me this question. It's nice because I try to find what inspired me, and I have to say that bassoon players inspired me. Like, I was inspired by the Chameleon Bassoon Ensemble from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Alexander Silveiro. I don't remember all names, but Alexander Silveiro, Francisco Formiga, as well, and a Venezuelan colleague that he's playing with them as well. And yeah, they inspired me, because they made a really nice bassoon ensemble, bassoon quintet with contrabassoon, and they start to play music, just music. They play academic music, they play jazz music, they play folk music, traditional music with the quintet, and I say, yes, yes, we can do it. We can do it something else. We can do more music with just bassoons. And for sure, I know that they are not the only one. I start to watch on Facebook rock music, bassoon rock music. I don't remember the name of the ensemble, but I every time when I saw them in Facebook, it's so nice, because they play with the electric bassoon. They amplify the bassoon and use pedals and use effects, and many other people doing something, doing really nice things with the bassoon. And I say, yes, why not? Why we cannot do something else, something more out of the concert hall? And that inspired me to do something else, and also to show to my student that yes, it's nice to play in a concert hall, but that's not the only place that we can work on it. We can do, we can play out of the concert hall anywhere, anytime, and we can play any kind of music, any style, any genre. I mean, we can do whatever we want if we work on it, if we work hard and we do it okay and we do it well, why not? We can do whatever. So that inspired me. Those bassoons ensembles, those bassoons alone or with another ensemble, like for sure, I have to mention Paul Hansen. He's one of my biggest inspirations for doing something else with the bassoon. Every time I saw him, or every time I watch any of his work with with the bassoon, with the electric bassoon into the Cirque du Soleil, playing with Bella Fleck or doing many things that he's doing. Is like, wow, that's so nice. I want to try. Maybe I'm not going to. It's not going to be my career to do that. Something like Paul Hansen, but I would like to try to do something else, something new, something that I haven't done before. And when I show to my students, when I say, okay, hey, watch this, watch Paul Hansen, watch the Chameleon Bassoon Ensemble, watch the rock bassoons, watch this guy, he's doing this with an ensemble, with a contemporary music ensemble, and they start to feel, wow, that's so nice, it sounds good, can we do that, and I say, yes, we can do that, but we have to work. I mean, I know that everybody that doing something different, they had work hard and a lot to do that, because they want to do very good, they want to do a really good job. So I always say to my student, yes, we can do. I'm not a composer, I'm not an arrangement, but I can do something. If we really want to do something, I can try and take this and do and and take the adventure to do it. Okay, it's challenging. Yes, it's challenging, but it's so nice when you take the bassoon out of the concert hall. When you put 8 or 6 or 5 or just 4 or 3 bassoons playing music, is nice. It's really nice. And when you do music that people know, when you play Beatles music, when you play folk music from your country, or when you play pop music, any pop music, any recently pop hit that you can play with a bassoon ensemble, people start to say, wow, I didn't know that the bassoon can do that. And that's my point. That was my biggest point. Yes, we can do this with the bassoon as well.
I was thinking back to your interview, Ishmael, and learning about your love of dance. And so I was thinking, have you ever thought of incorporating those movements or with your bassoon or with your students, or maybe inviting a dancer or to a bassoon concert?
I have thought about it. I have. Yeah, it's always in my plans.
Someday.
Not me dancing with the bassoon.
Okay.
No, I don't think it will be easy to dance and play bassoon at the same time. But yes, when I teach, I always speak about your body. Your body is part of the bassoon. I mean, it's not just the bassoon per se. It's you with the bassoon. We have to become one, and that's really important for me. Even I'm still, when I practice, I'm still, every time I'm thinking or done, when I feel stressed, when I feel tension, it's like, hey, just flow, because it's really important to make a nice accomplishment between you and the bassoon, your body and the bassoon. Is, for me, is really important. So I don't teach dance when I teach bassoon, for sure, but for me it's really important to let my students know how important is to feel your body and listen to your body. And that's part of the dance that I learned many years ago. But yeah, definitely it will be nice to do a project with dancers. Yeah, sure. I love to play ballets. I have played ballets before back in Venezuela and here in Canada as well. And yes, it's nice. It's not nice that we are playing down and I cannot see everything on the stage. But when I can go for a ballet, for a live ballet performance, and I can watch it, I love it for sure, because it's one of the things that I really enjoyed. Yeah. Maybe I will invite you, Julie, to join that project and dance and play bassoon.
I would love to. I was just reflecting on how, yeah, as kids we do start out. Because I also learned dance and ballet and did gymnastics, and was just thinking how all those things do help us. You know, just be a part of the music with our obscure instrument. I always love thinking of the bassoon, how it's kind of like our tango. We have our partner with our bassoon, and we can, be with the instrument. So El Sistema was founded in Venezuela, in your home country. And with starting with El Sistema, and with it now being your work in New Brunswick, in Canada, as a teacher of El Sistema, can you share how you found teaching this program and any changes that have evolved while sharing this program in another country, or is it generally the same?
Yeah, sure. Well, from the very beginning, from my first day working here on Sistema New Brunswick, I have to say that it was really nice, because I felt that I was at home. I was working at Sistema in Venezuela. Yes, it was really really nice, because when I when I came here, when I arrived here, and I remember I arrived on Saturday, and next Monday I start to work on Sistema New Brunswick. Uh, of course, it's not easy. Everybody know when you go abroad, when you go out abroad to work or to study, the first day, the beginning is not easy for everyone. But I have to say that it was nice when I got into the Sistema Center in Moncton, and I saw many kids playing music, doing music, having lessons, having a tutti band or a tutti orchestra. I was like, nice, this is like home. I mean, I didn't. It wasn't so different like Sistema in Venezuela. Of course, it's not fair to compare the scale of Sistema in Venezuela and the scale of Sistema here. It's not the same for sure, but it's not fair to, I say that it's not fair to compare, because Sistema in Venezuela has been for more than 40 years old. Sistema New Brunswick is just 12 years old, so it's not even no, it's not fair. It's not fair to compare, but it is so nice to work in a program where music is the media, is the medium to get everybody together, to get the kids from all the province, and to work, to play, to do music. That's really nice. I really enjoyed that from the very first day, from the beginning, from day number one. It's really nice. It's really nice, and it had been it had been cool, because this I think I said before, but to go into a music program where kids don't need to pay, where kids don't need to pay for an instrument, they don't have to rent an instrument, they don't have to pay for lessons, they don't have to pay for anything. It's really nice, because it's nothing that you can find anywhere or everywhere. So that's what I really like being part of this program of Sistema New Brunswick. Is yeah, definitely is one of the reasons that I'm why I'm working here.
Ishmael, can you share some bassoon compositions that come to mind?
Yes. Well, yeah, I love Baroque music. That's my favorite style. I don't play the Baroque bassoon. I don't play. I have played for just like twice or three times before, but I don't have a Baroque bassoon, so I'm not going to say that I play the very original Baroque music, because my friends that play Baroque bassoon is going to say, but you don't play Baroque bassoon. I say, yeah, I know, but I really love and enjoy to play and listen Baroque music. Uh, my, it's not easy to say. It's like this is like when somebody asks me, "What's your favorite food or your favorite color?" Or it's not easy to answer me, because for me, because I don't have just one. I have many. So, but I can share for sure. I can One Mortier. I love One Mortier sonatas. I think those are beautiful sonatas. Those are beautiful pieces that you can play anytime, and you will enjoy, and you will learn a lot playing One Mortier, about articulations, about phrases, about musicality. Yeah, you can learn many things that you can use after in any other style. So for me, it's really nice to play bois mortier. I learn a lot when I start to work on bois mortier music, as well as for sure is I like the fast sonata for bassoon and for bassoon and continuo and harp score. Is one of my favorite one as well. I like Vivaldi. Who doesn't like to play Vivaldi? But I have to say something. I'm not a big fan of the Mi minor, of the E minor concert. I'm not a big fan. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I disappoint somebody. But my favorite one, I have to say that one of my favorite one is the Do minor, the C minor, or as well as G minor, Sol minor. Those are my favorite Vivaldi bassoon concerts to play. Yeah, Vivaldi, One Mortier, fast, yeah, dart sonatas that are not really easy to play, are really tricky, really challenging to play, but are really nice to play. And for sure, Telemann works. I know that we play many transcription from flutes, but I love it. I mean, all the Baroque music and the early music is so beautiful. Even to play with the modern bassoon, uh, I love it. I'm not going to be. I never will get tired to play Baroque music with the bassoon.
So we were talking about all the skills learned doing the podcast, and so I wanted to ask, is there a course in school that you wish your students had access to, or you wish you had access to in your studies?
Yeah, I think definitely you had mentioned right now. I think it will be nice to to start as soon as we can to learn about sound recording. Yeah, more than video recording is the sound recording. It's not easy. It's so tricky. I'm not good. I'm not very good doing that. And every time when I I get more into the sound recording things, and I say, wow, this is more tricky than I thought before. This is, well, it's not tricky. I mean, it's a skill that you need a lot of knowledge about the process, about the recording, about the audio, about the microphones, software, edition, mix. Is a lot of things. Is a lot of stuff that you need to know before when you do it, and after on the post production. That for me is kind of overwhelming when I tried to do that. I have done some things for me, like personal projects. Um, I'm so rude with myself when I listen my recording. It's like, oh no, this is not working. This is. But then when somebody else listens and say, oh, it's not so bad, and say, well, but I want to, it sounds really good, and say, yeah, but you need more. You need stuff. You need an equipment, a very good equipment to do that. You need a very good software. You need to know this. You need to do that. So I think it will be nice as soon as we can, as soon as the students want to do that. It will be nice to work on it, to study, or if you, as you say, if we can get those kind of courses at the university or the conservatory, it will be nice for everyone. Even if you are not going to do anything, at least you know the basic, the principles, the fundamentals about audio recording. And I think it will be really helpful. Even if you are not working on it, you will have the chance, at least one time you will have the chance to go into the studio and make a recording. And if you understand all the process, for me it's going to be pretty nice if you can do something to improve. Yeah.
Could you share with us about the different bassoons that you've played on and about your new bassoon?
Yes, sure. Well, I would like to start with my very first bassoon. With my first bassoon, I remember it was a wooden bassoon. I don't know how old it was, but I know for sure it was an old one. I remember it was falling on pieces. It was falling on pieces. I think it was rotten inside or mold. I don't know. I really don't remember. For sure, I just started to play bassoon. I didn't know these many things because I don't have idea about what's the problem with if what's happening if the bassoon doesn't work. I didn't know what was happening, what was the problem. I just played because I really want to play. But of course, when somebody else tried to play my bassoon, or my teacher say, this bassoon is not in a really good shape, it's falling on pieces, it's not helping to you. But from the very beginning, I learned to not to complain, to not to complain. I mean, it's not. I'm not going to say that I never complained, because it's not true. Of course, I complained when I realized what was the problem. But before that, I just even my teacher say, well, it is what it is. It is what you have right now. You have to do something with this right now. So that helped me. That helps me to understand that yes, it will be nice to have a very, very good bassoon. It will be nice to have a very good vocal, a very good reed, the best reeds ever. But it doesn't mean that if you don't have it, you cannot do it, whatever you need to do. So after that very, very good, very, very bad bassoon that I started to play, I got my years after, I got my first bassoon, my first own bassoon, and it was a plastic bassoon. It wasn't a wooden one. It wasn't easy. Everybody knows how much is a bassoon, how expensive can be a bassoon can be. But it was what I could pay for that at that moment. It was like 12 years ago. Yes, 12 or almost 13 years ago. And I was really happy because finally I could get my own bassoon. It wasn't a borrowed one, it wasn't a rented one, nobody borrowed me, nobody, and I was happy. This is my very first bassoon ever. I know it's not going to be the last one. I really want to have a better one, but it is what it is at that moment, and I start to enjoy it and do a lot of music. I play a lot. Even when we met in Zurich, that was my bassoon. I was playing with that bassoon, and it was nice. I enjoy it a lot because, as I said before, my teachers from the conservatory with my bad bassoon taught to me to not complain and say, okay, it is what it is. It's not the best bassoon, but you can do something. And that was my mindset from the beginning. And yeah, I knew it that I couldn't do things with my plastic bassoon because it's just a plastic bassoon. It wasn't a very, very good bassoon, but I did my best, and I got into the Philharmonic National Orchestra in Venezuela. I went to Europe to play with with you and with so many friends. I did tours with orchestras and the symphony band. I mean, I did many, many things, recorders, and yeah, I enjoyed the way that I did, because every time when somebody complains about, oh, my bassoon is not the best, and I say, yeah, but it is what it is. Is that what you have right now? Let's do something with it. So it was nice because my students, when they complain, oh, my bassoon is not working good, I think my bassoon is not helping me. And I say, okay, listen, your bassoon, many times my students' bassoon were even more better, way, way better than mine. And they complain. It was so funny. They were complaining, oh no, my bassoon is not helping me. And I say, oh, come on. The bassoon is way better to mine. So you don't complain with me. I mean, you can complain with everybody else, but don't complain with me about your bassoon. So finally, just 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, I got a new bassoon, a wooden bassoon, a Yamaha bassoon 812. It's beautiful. I have tried before the Yamaha's bassoon, and I really like it. But you know, I'm not going to. I never recommend like, oh, you should have just this bassoon or just this vocal or just this reed or just that, because I mean, no, it's nothing that I haven't tried all bassoons. I haven't tried all bassoon brands. I haven't tried all bassoons vocal. I haven't tried all bassoons reed brands as well. I just want to share that whatever you have, do something with that. And if you want to improve, go for it. You never know. I mean, sometimes it's not easy. Yeah, everybody knows how expensive is a bassoon. I know very well. But I think that we don't have to stop to do something just because, oh, it's because I don't have the bassoon that I need to do that. I know it can be like that, but do not stop. Don't stop to working with the bassoon that you have, working with the stuff that you have right now, because when you get the bassoon, when you get the vocal, when you get the reeds that you really want for, for me it's going to be easier. It's going to be easier, and you will go through. I mean, like, yes, it is.
Through the roof.
Yeah, Yeah. So, I mean, it's nice. I like I like to try. I like to test bassoons and vocals and reeds. It's nice. But it's tricky. I not. I won't recommend or I won't complain either about, oh, this is not the best. This is not the one. But because I mean, it's not, for me, it's something, this is kind of something pretty relative, because the bassoon that I like maybe it's not the bassoon that you like. Why not? I have tried bassoons that sounds beautiful. The bassoon, my colleagues play with the bassoon and it sounds, oh wow, it sounds beautiful. And when I try, the bassoon doesn't sound like that, and I say, well, it's not just the bassoon. It's not just the bassoon. My teachers always say that it's not just the bassoon. The bassoon, yes, sure, it can help a lot, but at the end, it's not just the bassoon. It's also you. We are part of the bassoon. We are an important part of the instrument. So I will say that just enjoy what you have right now, and if you really want to go for a better, go for it. Try everything. Try vocals, try bassoons, try reeds. Do your reeds, because if you don't do your reeds, if you don't build and make your own reeds, you never know what's the reed that you need for. So it's something really nice. It's something interesting. I think that's the most funny part to be a bassoon player.
Yeah. Thank you so much for today.